Lucas here with you once again at my home crossing, State Road 206. And I don't know if you can see that. You got high green for northbound. I can see it with binoculars. I'm not going to show myself this morning due to lack of sleep and other reasons. I look like death, but stay tuned. I see the headlight for the train. First I saw it with binocs, and then now I can see it with the naked eye. I don't know if you can see it, but there's a hill down there in the Hastings, so he had to come up the hill and then show himself. All right, how about now? Yeah, you can see that now. All right, he's coming. All right, so it's track speed here, so I'm gonna let it run. The gates are over my right shoulder. You know I don't like that the gates flashing in my picture, but you'll hear them and the horns, of course. The whole 9 yards. All right, I am gonna move to my right a little bit as the train gets closer to get a wider view. I watched the BNSF video, professionally done on DVD. That all the filming was from distance, half a mile, so you could see like the entire train. I mean, we don't have elevation here where I could do that, but anyway, here we go. No horns? A chain today. You know, I dropped my glasses on the way up to the main office the other day, and it's like a, you know, not even a quarter of a mile. When I went back looking for them, they were gone. Of course, the fisherman who picked them up kept them because they're bajios. I mean, sure, here's a pair of bios on the ground. I can't afford them, so even though there's somebody else's, I'm going to keep them. That's the world we live in. All right, there's the Tropicana. All right. Still running the Tropicana. So he's slowed way down already, by the way. Not sure why. They're doing some track maintenance. Oh boy, look at this bad boy. All empty cars. Mostly all empty cars. So no doubt this is the train out of Fort Pierce Manifest Yard. Or you know, I gotta do a little more. Beaumont Beach isn't that far. I need to do a little more. Discovery around there. There's a classification yard there too. Oh boy, this is a long train. Isn't it funny though? So because it's flat here, two locomotives could pull this long train. They weren't even like real. Yeah, I wasn't in train operations. I was in intermodal marketing, so I don't know all the train locomotive numbers and all that like some of the folks that do railfan videos, but those weren't even the big locomotives that you see on line haul units. But they're perfectly fine. But the point is, they can pull all this empty train. Woo! I should have shut up. I didn't notice it was slowing way down. Could have had music. Oh well. Oh boy. Alright, I see the end finally. So I know, I have a great laugh. You guys probably hate it. That is a giant train, boy. Woo! And it's not going at track speeds. Traffic is all the way back to US 1 on this side. Probably back to the Pedro Menendez school on the other side. Since it's that time of day. About 8:30 a.m. The middle schools. The way the buses work here in St. Johns County, they go out and they do all the elementary school kids, and then they do the same route for the middle school kids, and then they do the route for the high school kids. So high school kids don't start school here until like 9 o'clock, but it's a longer day. I mean, you know, we did 7:30 to 3. They're in school till like 4:30, and then they go right into, as we did too, but they go right into sports or anything else you're doing after school. For me, it was sports. All right, there you go. Must be track maintenance in St. Augustine. We're running slow this morning. Anyway, there's one of you northbounds. All right, well, there goes the helicopter taking off. I'm up here near the airport. Oh yeah, Matty Cookie's here with you once again. I had to come up here to the county offices, so I passed that train I just filmed, so you get a bonus. You get to see that whole train again. Is he taking off or is he practicing? Okay, so you gotta turn. Well, I don't know what he's doing. The train's coming, so I'm gonna switch. Alright, so here comes that train again. I'm trying to get a little wider angle view. I saw the great spot. I'm gonna try to do that today, if not, well, as soon as possible. I can get a wider angle, not the whole train, but a good bit of the train. When it's going over the marsh. Stay tuned. All right, here it comes. Deja vu. Well, it's a different spot. This is not the widest angle I can get, but can't stand in the road and have cars drive by me while I'm trying to film. That video, when the guy's half a mile away and the train, I guess they know he's out there. It's a professional video company, but they toot the horn for him from like half a mile away. Anyway. It's not for him, it's not for me. When they do it, it's for you all. Alright, so these tropical containers came out of Port of West Palm Beach. So obviously, yeah, well, this is a giant train, it's carloads. And then the Tropicana coming up comes out of Fort Pierce. No clues about these tankers. They're an ethanol facility at Fort Pierce. Is it ethanol? I don't know. No placards on it now, so they're empty. Oops, sorry about that. Adjust my hands. I know, I need a tripod, but I'm not getting one, so get to deal with it. I wanted to get this again because it's a long thing. And yeah, so here's more of it. Yeah, the intermodal cars at the beginning. Port of West Palm Beach. Now you got Manifest, including Tropicana's, Fort Pierce, and then you got, here comes some trailers. Trailers they do at Fort Pierce. I was down there on my way to Naples last week. Of course, you got the Titusville too. And then you got all these intermodal stack containers. J.B. Hunt, which is probably Walmart, Fort Pierce, or some of it was. Or Fort Lauderdale. So all that entire block there is all set up, all J.B. Hunt. Goes directly to one of the railroads. FEC interchanges with either Norfolk Southern or CSX. That entire block right there will probably go. One, maybe half of one. Anyway, and then you get the coming up. Hold on. The Norfolk Southern domestic containers coming up. Oh, these are hubs, sorry. Okay, green hubs. Now get this whole block will get interchange to CSX and Norfolk Southern. And then you got some FEC containers and EMPs in Norfolk Southern. That's what I was going to say. 4. And then you got Foot East Coast and UPS. This section here, but just gets unloaded, dismounted, lifted off at Jacksonville. Yeah, these UPSUs, I mean, they're nationwide UPSUs, but there's a big good bit of UPS traffic that goes on this railroad. These containers right in the arms, UPSUs. And then, yeah, these get dropped off. Well, I don't know about the Swifts, but Raven, FEC, Warner, those will all get set off in Jacksonville. There you go, nice and slow. Hope we got a good view of that. All right, well, the second northbound snuck up on me, but he stopped there for a minute. And I was able to just drive up here and get ahead of it. I was gonna be able to get ahead of it anyway, but thanks for the horn salute. Yes, we're out here filming, promoting, and you should do that. Whether it's not against the rules, but I was out west, and look, I'm not tooting it. BNSF loves their rail fans. Whenever they saw me near the tracks filming, they tooted the horns. Okay. And maybe because it was Wyoming and Montana, but you know, I know out east here, some I don't know. I hate to call them liberals because I'm as liberal as anyone. I want you to have all the rights that the Constitution provides, but the nut jobs have taken over that word, and liberal is now like retarded. I'm sorry, but like there's something wrong with your brain if you can't do common sense and decency, and that's what liberals are like now. I'm gonna turn. Okay, now we get up. Yeah, I'm adding this commentary. I hope too many people don't leave, but I'm a George Carlin fan from way back. Cynicism is a form of comedy, of course. You know, my son asked me about the moon landing, and I was dating a girl from Seattle, and I was like, oh, brother, here we go. Anyway, I'm going to skip to the chase. Yes, we went to the moon. Yeah, it's not staged in a freaking movie studio. I mean, I know young people don't want it. They don't like anything good, so they try to trash it, but we went to the moon. You could see the materials they left there with a high-powered telescope for years after, and now they disappear with the dust. But anyway, it's covered up. We went to the moon because men, got in a tin can and made it work. Now they want to have all these fancy stuff like rockets coming back to Earth, and half the time they blow up. I mean, sorry, Elon Musk, but you should have bought the plans to the space shuttle. Space shuttle had 135 successful missions. Okay. How many successful missions have you had on your self-landing rocket compared to how many failures? I'm sure they had other failures, but the space shuttle in all the years it was running, 135 missions, only had 2 catastrophes. Of course, we all know them. There's the Challenger and the Columbia. But God bless those people, but hey, God rest their souls. But hey, 135 missions and only 2 catastrophes. Pretty freaking good. Track record. Did I say F word again? Shoot. I don't mean to do that. Freaking, I think it's a damn good safety record. How did I get on that track? Anyway, yeah, you blow the horn around here with a liberal, they might, their head might blow a gasket. Call the railroad and complain. The train's blowing the horn all the time, blah, 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 It hurts my ears. Whatever, man. This is the world we live in. Sorry, I'm just pointing it out. I'm not... Well, I mean, technically I am complaining because I wish it wasn't like this, but... I'm pointing it out because I want people to change. I mean, we've made leaps and bounds in the right direction just in the last year. But the people who have been trying to destroy my culture have been doing it since I was an adolescent, and I'm 66 years old. So it's going to take a lot more than just a year to turn things back in the right direction. Well, sorry, things are turning in the right direction to regain, gain all that ground back that we lost. Anyway, yeah, I'm passionate about it. I have 4 children. They need to grow up in a world like as well as I did. Not with terrorist attacks. Freaking can't even go on the street because I have to wear my gun on me now, which is a constitutional carry here in Florida, but because I'm not going to be the one that doesn't have my gun on me when some lunatic starts a mass shooting. Or anything else. Some lunatic wants to crash into me because they don't like my politics. I hate all government. I don't want government. I understand we have to have a little bit, but I certainly don't want the size government we've had of late, which is overwhelming and overbearing. Okay? I'm not sure why he stopped. When I started filming here, it's just starting up again. But he was stopped there. The tail end of his train was blocking. Probably 3 crossings back to 16, State Road 16. He went underway pretty quickly, so no harm, no foul. But not sure why he stopped there when he could have pulled all the way up here into this double track. It's double track here for all the way up around that corner that you can see in the distance. Sorry, my medical condition is on full alert. Not alert, on full display. What it is erosion of the esophagus, which gives me massive acid reflux, among other things. So I'm constantly fighting to breathe. What caused it? I don't know. 20 years of binge drinking didn't help. I will give credit to younger people today. I mean, they don't seem to drink as much. Maybe they're doing other stuff, but when I was a college-age kid, 20s, in my 20s again, after college, the big event was going to somebody's drinking. There's a bar near my house, the world-famous Oasis. It used to be packed until 1 a.m. The bars closed at 1 a.m. It's here in St. Johns County. It'd be packed till 1 a.m. every night. Now you go by there at 9:30 p.m. It's a ghost town. So that's progress. That's a good thing. Wow, he slowed way down again. He's going to stop again. If he stops again, I'm going to walk down here again. Yeah, he's stopping again. Okay, I understand why he's stopping here now. Because he's probably cleared that crossing. Let me, so we're going to walk down here slowly. He hasn't cleared 5th Street. Look at these massive northbound trains. Of course, all these units are empty. I know I keep saying it. So there's, yeah, there's the end of the train. Oh, so he did clear, I thought I saw a car go by. So we cleared 5th Street, blocking Big Oak Road. Alright, Matty Gookus here with you once again. I'm at County Road 312, not State Road 312. There's the train that stopped, and now I know why. I'm going to swing around. Going back out. Here comes the Bunnell Local, the rock train. The rock train. You'll see. Here comes the Bunnell Local heading south. And Elton. Alright. Check it out, the rock train. I love seeing that in Tropicana. Alright. That's the Bunnell Local in Elton. I should go down to Elton and see how many cars they spot. Then they go down to Elton. Because some of those cars will be from Bunnell. Stay tuned, I'll get the northbound again going north. Actually, they can, if you condition yourself to eat reasonable amounts of food at certain times of the day. Your stomach will remind you that you're hungry. But this is the world we live in now. Just eat all day, all night. Get obese, don't worry about it. The government's gonna pay for your health care. All right, Matty Gookus with you in Bayard. Came up here at Bayard so I could get this train moving along at a decent speed. And then you can see the whole train. Even though you saw the whole train last time. So in my defense, by the way, you might ask, like, well, so isn't that the only reason we stopped? No. We might have stopped down there because the yard was congested. And they need a hole in a longer siding. This is a long siding here, but that other train might have been sitting here. Anyway, there are other reasons why the train would stop down there, coming northbound, other than a meet. But we did get a meet, I didn't even say that. Anyway, this is the second northbound. You saw the first one twice so far. Friday. All right, Matty Gookus here with you once again in Palatka today. Over here, I'm hoping to catch the auto train. Haven't done this in a while. We got high green, stay tuned. All right, I'm gonna show myself this morning. Matty Gookus here with you once again. As I just said, here in Palatka, Florida. You might remember this spot. This is the CSX line. Behind me is that signal that's high green. Let me switch screens. Alright, there's facing southbound. Those signals right there were all red. Of course, when I came up, this is this giant Certainty facility here with all those aqua, what color is that? Anyway, those aqua black and black tarps are Cypress truck lines, who you're familiar with because they run on the FEC. This is an over-the-road operation. You see the aluminum flatbeds. They only use the steel on the railroad because then they won't bounce. But this is a giant facility. And then, of course, I skipped past it, but you got the Seminole Electric Cooperative plant down there. Anyway, stay tuned for the auto train, hopefully. If not, we'll see what it is. Whenever the train is coming. All right, I went to the car to get something, and whew, I almost missed it. All right. Sweet. All right, it's one of the passenger trains, either the Silver Meteor that goes Miami, New York, or the new Chicago one. I'm gonna keep it going. You can zoom in if you want. I didn't want to have that guy's car in this photo. All right, well, I was fortunate to catch that. The auto train already went through early this morning. It was an hour and a half early. Let's go up the road here to the big CSX yard in west of Jacksonville, and see if we can catch some CSX activity. All right, well, while I was doing that, I was thinking, yes, I can talk and think about something else at the same time. These lights aren't dropping out, so maybe there's a northbound train coming. Stay tuned, I'm going to walk down to those other signals. All right, so I walked down here to the northbound signals, and they're also red. So what does red in both directions mean? Track maintenance? I don't know. I'm going to mosey up the road and keep watching the signals. This part of Florida here, the train tracks parallel the road, the major road, so I can catch the signals almost all the way to Jacksonville. All right, so I came north and decided to stop here in Green Cove Springs. This is a nice little Florida town. Anyway, no signal activity up here, so I don't know what all that red was back there, but I'm gonna continue on to Baldwin. That's the city I was trying to name before, where the big CSX classification yard is. And we'll get some more activity here today. All right, Matty Gook is here on the way to Baldwin, and I wanted to show you something that's unique here to North Florida. I'm on the new First Coast Expressway that connects I-10 to southern St. Johns County. You don't have to go through Jacksonville anymore to get to I-10 West. Anyway, see all these pine trees? A lot of people think they're indigenous to this area, and while they grow well here, they were planted. These are pines for pulp paper mills. If you look clearly, so this is cut recently, so if you look clearly, they're even in rows. Look in the center of the picture, just 3 trees to the right of that light post, and you can see a row of trees from Jacksonville all the way to Pensacola. These trees were planted actually for the pulp paper mills that used to be here. Anyway, just a little trivia about North Florida that I know from being in the freight business. A lot of people move here probably think these trees are just random, but they're not. All right, Matty Gook is here with you once again. I'm in Baldwin now. Baldwin, Florida. That's the entrance to the big CSX yard here in Baldwin, facing south from Beaver Street. Signals are all red now, but that'll change quickly. All right, so here in Baldwin still, there's 2 work crews getting out of their trucks now. God bless them, but if they're going to work on tracks, if they're going to do track maintenance, then it must be the slow period. Maybe I'll go a little far north of Folkestone. It's only a little bit further north, and I can get intermodal trains too, which don't come this way. All right, so just what I was afraid of. So the work crews are out, and so this is a slow time with no trains. I'll swing around, all the signals are red, I'm gonna go up the road. All right, so I didn't go all the way to Folkestone. I'm up here in like Callahan, maybe. And these signals are all red for southbound. Let me check the northbound signal. Stay tuned. So this is a Norfolk Southern track that crosses the CSX track here. All right, so I couldn't get to those signals without going on the CSX property, but you can see we got a slow approach, and you can hear the gates going. I got to step outside the gates because we got a train coming. Well, it's not in the picture yet. Stay tuned. All right, I'm gonna let this run because you can start to hear the train. Sounds like there's another train behind it. Or maybe that's the Norfolk Southern coming across this line down there. Wouldn't that be nice? Anyway. But Monday's the wrong day to rail, man. You know, everything is reached its most everything reaches its destination by through the weekend, and so yeah, there's trains going on Monday, but it's slower than normal. Anyway, here's a train. Alright, so this is a manifest train. No doubt it turns down there to the right and to the Baldwin area, where the Baldwin Yard, the Baldwin area which I just came from. Ah, look at this, right, some fresh paint, fresh graffiti. Thank you for the horn salute, CSX. Yes, I recognize it. There's one of those flat spots that we talk about. A flat spot is not dangerous to the operation of the train. A wheel bearing shot, of course, would be, and that's allegedly what happened with Norfolk Southern in East Palestine, or East Palestine. Anyway, I forget how you say it, but there's actually a video from a security camera building along the railroad track, showing that wheel flaming, sparking as the train went by. That on the Norfolk Southern before it reached East Palestine. Like a bunch of steel on that flatbed car. Oops, sorry, I had to look. I'm on the other side of the tracks and I didn't lock my car again. I'm very wary of right now after having what appears to be my wallet taken out of my car, right in my driveway. Alright, we face up with that. Looks like 3 freezer cars. Yep. Protecting today's perishables for tomorrow. There you go, CSX manifest train. I believe I'm in Callahan, Florida. Also, those are some of those pulp pines that I was talking about. Yes, there are still paper mills, not nearly as many. The big one in Jacksonville is actually a box plant. All right, well, these signals are all red now, and that's the normal protocol when the train goes by. But I still hear a train horn, and I think it's the Norfolk Southern. So I'm back over here at the Norfolk Southern track, and I'm going to listen for that train horn. If I could get a Norfolk Southern right now, that would be bonus, and I'd have the CSX material I just got, the Amtrak, this Norfolk Southern if it is one, and then go back to Jacksonville and get the 105 and put out a video. Other than the horn, I don't know how I'm going to tell if there's a Norfolk Southern coming, unless I can get up to those signals right there without going on the property. Actually, that road up there, can I park on that bridge? But let me listen some more. Yeah, so I surmise that these signals stay red all the time until there's a Norfolk Southern heading. This is going to be northeast that I'm facing. And that's the CSX double track. 95% of the traffic, CSX traffic going in and out of Florida here, go on those two tracks. So I bet these signals right here are red a lot. So I came over to this highway and I came down this hill, and we got nothing. Can you see that? I can make it out. Even from this angle, all red. All right, so I'm back over here at the CSX double track, and we got all red southbound, but there is a train up there. Unless it's maintenance equipment, there's a headlight up there. So I'm gonna stick around here and see if it's a train that moves south here. All right, so while I'm waiting for this train, let me talk about this. These pines for the paper mill and box plants. So these type of pines that you saw in that truck and I pointed out along the highway are soft. It's a softer wood. They actually grow fast and they don't have to wait till they're gigantic trees, and so they shave them. They cut them down and shave them, or actually they shave them while they're cutting down now. Anyway, forget that part. And they truck them to the plant, and then they go in a musher, and they turn into mush, and they put it in a big vat. And sorry if I'm not using the right terminology, but you get the idea. So it goes in a big pot, hot water, and it turns into oatmeal, and then they put their chemicals in it to make the cardboard adhere. I don't know the process, but basic knowledge. And then, so the pulp, the shredded pine tree becomes a pulp, and then it becomes a sheet of cardboard. Everybody can imagine that in layman's terms. Okay. That's why this type of tree is used for paper mills. You can't use really hardwood tree. You know, it would be too overbearing for equipment to be turning hardwood trees into mash all day long. Anyway, and maybe that type of wood doesn't adhere either. The pine, of course, as you know, has a lot of sap in it, so it's easily turned into a mush. Much easier than a big hardwood, thick, dry hardwood tree. Anyway, I know this because I was in the freight business. I started down here in the 90s. There were a lot of paper mills and box plants around here, and so I got the invitation to come out and see these plants many times, and that's why I know. And I just thought I'd share with those people who don't know about paper mills or box plants. All right, so I'm going to show you something. I'm borderline on the property, but you can see behind me there's homes here. People living in RVs and a couple of permanent homes. But That's a diamond. Let me step to the right. So that's a diamond CSX double track going north-south and Norfolk Southern single track going, well, it's northeast, southwest, so it's coming in on an angle. Anyway, it'd be nice to get a train going over this diamond. So there's a train coming. This might be an Amtrak. I heard the horn. If it is, it's going to book by here. So keep your keep your eyes on the screen. Yeah, it's an Amtrak. Isn't that quiet that is? No, it isn't. It's a CSX. Oh, look, but it's a CSX. All right, look at that. It was a CSX business cars. Anyway, you can tell it's quieter than a normal train, freight train. You can tell the difference between a passenger train and like an Amtrak and a cargo train. All right, stay tuned. I'm gonna go get the FEC 105 today, and we'll have a video for the week. All right, so I'm heading back to Jacksonville, and I came down 301 to US 90, which is Beaver Street, and crossed the tracks here. And is that the same train I just filmed? It looks like it. The freight locomotive with the three passenger cars sitting up there. Anyway, waiting on a signal to go into the yard. There's another rail van down there with a tripod. Actually, I've seen people here before. Is this train coming out? All right, well, he's still sitting there. Swing around again. I can't tell if that train's coming out or not. It may well be, but I'm gonna go catch the FEC 105 and wrap this video up for the week. All right, Matty Googus here with you once again at historic Kings Road North in Jacksonville to catch the departure of the FEC 105. It's about 12:30 p.m. on Monday. What is it, December 8th? And there's the signals for the 105 coming down. I can see the headlight. All right, so there's the headlight for the 105 coming down. In the meantime, we got these auto racks in here. Let me zoom out. I came northbound. How do I know that? There's the Freddy. What was that official name of that? Anyway, the light device. The back end of train device. EOT. That's what it was. Anyway, that green thing is the flashing red light. Goes on the back of trains. But let's take a look at these auto racks. So this is one of the more modern ones. You can see it's higher than the other ones. Shouldn't be any vehicles in these because they came north, but there's specifics on here. I'm trying to see if it tells how many vehicles, but I guess it doesn't. Oh well. I was told about 10 vehicles, depending on type of vehicles. With small cars, you might get more. With pickup trucks, you might get less. Anyway, that's what I was told. Again, I was in intermodal marketing. I came in with a trucking acquisition. I'm not a carload or a manifest expert. All right, so I'm out here grunting for you. Anyway. And if I sound like a layman sometimes, it's because I am. But there you are, you know. There's the auto rack, up close and personal. Look at it, you got these fancy, okay, so these modern ones have this fancy curtain in between that keeps the dust out. Look at that. The old ones don't have that. Anyway, maybe one of you subscribers can tell me how the rack configurations go inside this auto rack. Thank you. All right, bye-bye. Stay tuned, Nick. I'm going to do the 105. All right, so can you see that? Like a red-shouldered hawk. Actually, a red-breasted hawk. I don't know if there's one called that. I'm being facetious, but he's right in the center of the picture there, framed by those 4 brown leaves. I'm going to sit here until he flies away. If I walk closer, I should cause him to move, but either a red-shouldered hawk or a brown-shouldered hawk. They're very, very common around here. They can also be fierce. The brown-shouldered ones in particularly, sorry, I stepped into a hole, are aggressive. They'll defend themselves, and if you get too close, they usually fly away, but they're skittish. But if you get too close, they're not afraid to bite you. But hey, buddy, what's up, man? If you see me, I can see you. I see you. Beautiful. I don't know. There he goes. Yep. All right. So looky here. I was zoomed in, so I couldn't really follow him. But he's right out here in the open now on the wire. So he came back around to see what he's messing with. Who's messing with him? Maybe he'll dive bomb me. Hey, I'm looking at you, pretty. I'm looking at you. Fly away from me again. See, they got those spots in their back. That one looks like he's been in a couple fights or something, kind of beat up. Excuse me. Oh, is that just the way the pattern is? I don't know. It's a gray day. I'm not seeing real good color. Their wings are spotted. You can kind of get that impression. All right, let me see if I can make him fly away. I'll go a little closer again. What's up there, buddy? Oh my God, maybe he'll dive bomb me. What's up? Sorry, I can't work him. Anyway, these hawks are all over the place down here. All right, so there's a better view. Actually, their chest is. No, those are the wings. They're kind of spotted. So, yeah, what is that? That's the red-shouldered hawk. All right. What am I looking at? Jesus. Camera work. All right, so that's the red-shouldered hawk, obviously. The brown-shouldered are the more aggressive ones. This one is not afraid of me in the least. In fact, he's showing off. Hey, buddy. What's up? All right, so there's the mate, I guess. There's 2 of them. Now, that one's over there facing this way. This one's still over here facing west. All right, so there's the crew car just showed up. So this train's going to pull out right quick. All right, so the crew car backed way up in there. I've never seen them do that before, but they don't like being around people. The FEC police just drove by too. Somebody, checking out their property as they should. I'm not doing anything wrong, but of course you see somebody out here, they think it's a terrorist immediately or something. But FEC police doing their job. Good job. Come out to check me out. He just drove by. He didn't get out of the truck. Just showing me that he's here. If he really was worried about who I am, he'd stop and ask me for identification and shit. I had 1 foot on the property. You can see the property lines right there, that post. So I'm on the edge of the property. I'm not purposely going on the property, but if I take a step if I lose my balance and take a step to the right, I'm on the property. Anyway, I'm not staying here. Here comes the locomotive. I'm going to film this 105 coming down here, and then I'm going to go to my other spot, cross the road, cross Sunbeam, and film the train after the crossing once it gets going. But I haven't done this routine in a while, actually watching the yard locomotive actually bring the train down. So here you go. This is how it works. They build the train way up there in the intermodal yard, miles away, and then how many miles? I don't know, 4 or 5 miles. This yard starts just beyond where you can see the cars, and then goes all the way up to University Boulevard. This is, I don't know, is it 8 miles long? Maybe. Anyway, they built the train way up there in the intermodal section, and then they bring it down here. The yard engineer brings it down here, and then this is where they crew it. Well, I thought the locomotive might stop up there near the crew car since they went into hiding, but he's coming right down here. What are they doing? He's not afraid. Stop right here. Woo! Alright, so I got out of there and I came down to this spot just south of the where the train run starts, south of the Sunbeam crossing. You know, I don't need to be in their face. They don't need to be worried about who I am while they're getting ready to do a serious job. I mean, even if they know who I am, they don't need to be thinking about me when they're getting ready to do a serious job and run this train to Miami. So anyway, I get out of their face, get out of their way, and come down here and wait on this train to go. All right, quickly before it disappears. So the now that the one of ours pulled down here, the auto rack can be pulled up into the yard. Those auto racks don't stay; they get interchanged at Norfolk Southern. So the only thing they got to do to that block of auto racks is pull it up into the yard and wait for Norfolk Southern, or bring it over to Norfolk Southern or CSX. All right, we're rolling. I don't know if you can see the train moving. Watch the headlights as they disappear behind that pole. Oh, I gotta zoom in a little bit more. All right. Yeah, I can hear the train. Hear that? Now that the wind's blowing this way. Yeah, we got another damp, cold nor'easter going on. All right, there go the gates. They're going for the crossing for Sunbeam. I know I'm zoomed out, but I'm gonna let you just listen. So the wind's blowing right at me. So you can hear the train throttled up. Check out that sub-hunter that just flew by above the train. Anyone catch that? All right, Monday, December 8th, Matty Gook is here in Jacksonville, Florida for the departure of the FEC 105. Nice. I know you blew the horn up there, but I tipped my hat again when it was close. Alright, so here's these trash cars. music, but I'm kind of doing a new thing. Everybody following this Somali thing in Minnesota? I mean, I think it's ironic. Anyway, no one cares if Minnesota wants to turn into little Somalia. I mean, it's how they're doing it, which is the normal Democrat MO. They take money from taxpayers and then they use it for stuff that they know the taxpayers won't be on board with. That's why they don't tell them up front. Okay? And so when you find out later that they're taking tax money from hardworking Americans who don't get subsidized housing and giving subsidized housing to Somalians, then they call you a racist if you don't like that, okay? Anyway, it's just typical Democrat MO. Everyone's kind of sick of it, okay? But they have no intention of stopping. I mean, doubling down. In fact, now they're championing drug boat runners. I mean, nothing says Democrat like defending drug boat runners. And let me be clear, when I say Demo-rat, yes, it's mostly Democrats, but it's other people too who are not Democrats, okay? That's my word, I made it up, okay? I'm sure other people use it, but I have a definition. Yes, it's mostly Democrats, because Democrats are usually the ones that take money and don't tell the taxpayers what they're doing with it, and then they use it for other stuff that taxpayers. Look, I grew up with this stuff in Massachusetts, so anyway, here's your 105. I'm adding this banter. Hopefully it boosts my popularity a little bit. I mean, I love everybody. Thank you, subscribers, and anybody who watches. What do I have, 200 something? I don't know how some of these people are getting to like 100,000 subscribers. I mean, I've been doing this a year consistently, and yeah, I know the FEC only operates in Florida, but that would mean to me that more people from around the country would check it out, because they don't see these trains on a daily basis, like they see their UP or their BNSF going by every day of their house. But hey, that requires people being not lazy and not doing the same thing over and over again, and actually going out. I mean, am I going to accuse people of being lazy? That's why I'm not popular. That's not where I'm going with this. But I thought I would be more interesting showing this railroad, and I'm not going to stop doing it, and I'm actually going to do it more, but but I got to add something to try to boost my. I just want to see if you can make money on YouTube. I don't really believe it, okay, until I see it. So even if I made 5 cents, I've spent. Sorry to disclose this, but let me say I've spent in the $1,000 for video editing. Not because I can't do it myself, even though I can. I don't have the training, but because I would pay, as you know, I pay a kid whose mother I used to work for. So it's paying it forward. Okay, he does great work. I just have to come out here and do the clips. It's actually a pretty good shtick for me. I don't know if I'd have the patience to do the video editing, but anyway, in the thousands of dollars for video editing without any return or any potential return in any time in the near future, with my subscriber level. So I gotta try something. I gotta add something. I gotta do something different. I'm gonna add this like political banter and see where it gets me. I don't think I'm gonna scare everybody away, because I'm not. Sure, I'm conservative and I'm an old school American who wants limited government. Okay, which we don't have. We haven't had for a long time. I know. but there's still a chance. Anyway, there's your FEC 105 today. Beautiful. Thanks for the horn salute again. I'll see you next time. All right, Matty Gugas here with you once again. Just outside downtown St. Augustine at the San Sebastian River. And we got high green for northbound, most likely the Bunnell local, heading back to Jacksonville, but let's wait and see. Stay tuned. All right, here's the San Sebastian River. And there's the old headquarters. Anyway, stay tuned. All right, finally, this train took its sweet time getting here today. I heard the horn. You can't see right now. It's around that corner. The wind is blowing from the north, and so I was able to catch that horn at a quiet moment. As you can hear, this is US 1. All right, so there's the, there it is again, I don't know, that little street there where the Alton lead, just east of where the Alton lead goes. All right, so he'll emerge from that, that scrub. I'm gonna keep it running. Alright, change positions a little bit. Alright, there we go. Right through the trees there, you can see the headlights. Alright. Coming around the corner and over the San Sebastian River on this gloomy afternoon. The rock train. Bunnell is a rock facility. Everybody knows that, right? All right, here we go. We got some loaded cars there. Or is that just up on that lip right there? Yeah, I guess that was just. Yeah. Box guns, some more cigars. Alright, there you go. Worth the wait. It was a better part of an hour standing out here in this increasingly cold day, but I'll take it. I'll take one for the team.